Have I made a boo-boo with my bike again? I've just had these 3 front chain rings replaced. They were originally Shimano ones. Now they're Stronglight brand ones, which I gather are fine. The trouble is, this crankset was designed originally for a 9-speed setup, and I've now got a 10-speed cassette with a 10-speed chain. Of course, 10-speed chains are thinner than 9-speed chains, and the trouble I'm finding now with these new chain rings is the chain actually fits between the chain rings. It'll be a bit difficult to show on camera, but I've just shoved in a piece of 10-speed chain in between those 2 big chain rings, and that's happening with the actual chain. At times it's getting jammed in between the 2 chain rings. Now I'll just repeat that with a piece of 9-speed chain, which is slightly thicker. That's the 9-speed piece of chain. It might not look much different on video, but that actually doesn't jam in there anywhere near as easily. Now this didn't happen with the previous Shimano chain rings, so I don't know if it's a quirk of these Stronglight ones, or whether I ought to get a dedicated 10-speed chain set. Yeah, I don't know really. It's barely usable at the moment. I did have these new ones put in by a bike shop. When it came back to me, the shifting wasn't quite as I'd normally expect it. It did work okay. Before anyone questions it, this missing bolt is because I lost it. I was out this morning, and I was changing gear to try and get up a hill. I was in Maltby, and you can go right down a hill and then right back up again. And the chain just got jammed in between these bottom 2 chain rings, and I just could not for the life of me get it out. I sat around on the side of the road for about 45 minutes trying to extract the chain from these chain rings, and eventually I had to take all the bolts off the outer one to try and get better access to it, and that's when I actually lost this one. It'll be at the side of the road somewhere, and had to slightly undo these in order to free the chain. It was okay on the way back, but I've been adjusting the gears to try and make it work better, and I just can't make it work, and it often keeps falling in between the chain rings, whereas on the old one it wouldn't do that. I'll just try and demonstrate the problem while I'm on the turbo trainer. You can see a hammer and a screwdriver on the floor. I have just had it jammed in there quite well, and I've had to use a hammer to help get it out. Move it up to the second ring. There. And back down. Yeah, so that's just riding right in the middle, and now it's jammed, so I can pedal back. I have to pedal backwards a bit to get it to go on. Put it all the way up to the top. That shifted quite quickly this time. That's gone right down to the bottom. No, that is completely gone now. Oh. Let's see if we can get the chain back on. Will it go back on without me putting it back on by hand, do we think? Usually a challenge to see if it will. I've put it back on by hand. Yep, simple change, didn't work. Didn't go far enough. That's got it. Bloody thing.